Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here for Sunday, December 8th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up picking up a very entertaining winner in the UFC main event between Overeem and Rozenstruik, and we took Rozenstruik to win by knockout at plus 125 on DraftKings. Definitely got it at a good time. At the time we took it, Rozenstruik on the money line itself was about minus 115, and on FanDuel and some other books, he closed at roughly minus 150. So we got some really good numbers there. The fight itself was kind of insane. I thought that somebody was going to get knocked unconscious in the first 7.5 minutes. Instead, it went the full length, and then Rozenstruik knocked out Overeem with 4 seconds left, and we ended up picking up a play of the day winner. Definitely a really lucky winner there, but overall I'll take the profit there. We've had some bad beats on this channel, and it's nice to finally get something relatively lucky to go in our way, as Rozenstruik was pretty much about to lose in a decision and then pulled a miracle knockout out in the last 4 seconds. So we'll look to build on that on today's card. Now, I know some of you are wondering why I am making the video now instead of talking about the NFL. Truth is, I just didn't really like anything on today's card. I already gave out the Titans earlier in this week, minus 2.5 against the Raiders, and that game has turned into a very entertaining shootout as the Titans are currently up 21 to 14, but the Raiders are driving as they're looking to tie before the half, so hopefully that ends up winning. Other than that, though, looking at the play of the day here, we're going to be talking about an NBA matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we like the Los Angeles Lakers here at home, minus 10.5, which is available on DraftKings at minus 110. Now, everybody knows how good the Lakers have been so far this season. They're currently 20-3. They're 9-2 at the Staples Center. They've been really solid. And, well, technically 9-3 if you include their first game against the Clippers. But at home, they're 9-2. And they will look for another home win on Sunday night. But the Lakers have been absolutely rolling lately. They've won each of their last 3 games. They beat the Nuggets on the road by 9. Tough place to play. They beat Utah on the road by 25. That's also a tough place to play, and they absolutely demolished them. Then they played at Portland and won by 23. So after the 3-game road trip, they're finally returning home, and they get to face the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have lost each of their last 3 games. They've lost to Memphis by 8, they lost to Dallas by 7, and they had an absolute choke job against Oklahoma City, as I'm sure some of you know by now, with the Chris Paul delay a game thing on Jordan Bell, which caused a free throw, and then Towns made the free throw that he was intentionally trying to miss, and then Adams made a perfect full-length pass to Schroeder to hit a layup before the buzzer to send the game to overtime, and then the Timberwolves completely imploded in overtime and they lost by 12. I just think the Lakers are in better form. The Timberwolves, I know that Anthony Towns is a very solid big man, but I think that Anthony Davis is pretty much a wash in terms of who's the better player. I think that Towns is a little bit inferior. I think Davis is probably the better player by a little bit, but at the same point, nobody on Minnesota can guard LeBron. I think LeBron will do what he wants. The Lakers have been coasting lately, and Minnesota enters this game on a 3-game losing streak in the middle of a road trip, and the Lakers finally get to return home after a 3-game road trip. I just think the Lakers are going to play really well at home. I think Minnesota will struggle with another road game, and I think the Lakers should win this game pretty easily. I thought about potentially giving out the Lakers over on their team total at roughly 118.5. I like that as well, but I just think the Lakers are a little bit too much to handle for Minnesota. I understand why the spread is double digits, but based on how the Lakers have played lately, I think the spread should be closer to 12, and I think 10.5 is a pretty solid number to get. Minnesota's been good on the road overall, but, I mean, when you're in the middle of a road trip and you've lost 3 straight games, 2 of them being on the road, I'm a little bit concerned about your current form. So for that reason, the play that it will be on the Los Angeles Lakers, minus 10.5, which is available on DraftKings at minus 110. It's also available at FanDuel and a couple other books, so if you want to, if you don't have that book available, you can probably shop around and find the same exact line. But overall, Lakers is going to be the play of the day. Now, for the rest of today's card, not much else to talk about, but I will give out some leans on some of the late college basketball matchups, as well as the Monday night game between the Rams and the Seahawks. And I'll start out with the NFL game between Seattle and Los Angeles. Based on the spread and the movement itself, I have to lean to the Rams here. Seattle opened up at minus 2.5. They're currently down to plus 1, and you've seen some money on the over. I know Wilson and Carroll pull some magic out every single game, but I got to take the Rams here. Seattle's off a short week, having to play Monday night against the Vikings, and the Rams absolutely demolished Arizona pretty easily, and I think that they should be able to try to keep their playoff hopes alive here. I think this game will be really close, and the first matchup between these two teams was pretty much even. The Rams probably should have won it, but then Zerline ended up missing that field goal at the end, and they ended up losing. I'll lean to the Rams here at home. I think this game will be close, but I'll take the Rams to win by 3. I think this game will come down to the wire, and I'll actually lean to the... I'm going to lean to the over once again here. I know the Rams defense has played a lot better ever since Jalen Ramsey got there. But Seattle, I know with Wilson, they're going to find a way to score points. And Seattle's defense really isn't great. And they got torched by Kirk Cousins last week. I think Goff will play pretty well. I think Wilson will play pretty well. But I think at the end of the day, I think the Rams will win somewhere in the realm of, I'd say, 27-24, give or take. I think this game will be close, but I'll lean to the over and I'll lean to the Rams -1. Now, for some leans on some college basketball games late today, lean to Gonzaga -4. I know that line seems a little bit sketchy with Washington at home as a ranked team, but Gonzaga's gone from -2 to -4.5. It's still available at 4 at some spots. Gonzaga's dominated this series historically, and I think Gonzaga is just simply too big for Washington to handle. Lean to Gonzaga on that one. Other than that, though, the late game between Seton Hall and Iowa State, I'm actually going to lean to Iowa State on that one. Iowa State will open up at -1. They're up to -3. So you have a ranked team on the road again. Who is an underdog. I think that's a sign of all signs here. Lean to Iowa State. I think they'll win this game pretty easily, as I don't really like the way that Seton Hall's been treated in the marketplace. Going as a ranked team from +1 to +3 on the road against an unranked team. Definitely concerning. Lean to Iowa State on that one. But the play that I once again is on the Lakers -10.5 at -110 on DraftKings. Other than that, though, that's going to be this installment of Scott Selections here for Sunday, December 8th. And good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.